This is part 2 on Friday. I do have some white, but it's like fishing themed, American flag themed. This is a Columbia Sports wear top from the outlets. I needed some clothing for Celebration of Life, and I don't know why I end up with like every dress. I'm overweight and obese. This is really comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that I would like wearing like spandexy stuff, even though I liked it in the 90s. It feels snug enough and not tight. I still like cotton and flowy stuff, even these patterns of the rayon. But where we are, what do you do when you wake up and you think, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough? Or you think, oh, I did all these things, or oh, I didn't go to my meeting because my gut told me, don't go to that meeting because there's somebody there who gossips, who blabs everyone's business all over town. That's why you got those texts, because you only told one person. And if someone from 2 counties over is texting me about something I said in confidence, and you know about half the other meeting members, like, oh, this person this person that, this person this, oh, I'm with this person now, oh, I was this person yesterday, and they said this, oh, I just got a text, let me read it. Could you imagine, even if it's an anonymous meeting, sending someone a heartfelt text, and unless you say, hey, please share this with the group, or feel free if the, time comes up, could you imagine them reading your confidential text to like 12 people? Like, that's embarrassing. Like, something's telling me, like, and I've not been sharing, I've been waking up early. There's a couple of groups I haven't necessarily gone to, so I've been waking up feeling a little bit guilty. Didn't do my other Zoom meeting yet. There's still time, it's 24 hours a day. So that's been my plan. I have a meeting that I really like to prioritize on Saturdays, and I have a course, conference, virtual conference and webinar tomorrow, and I have a conference. This one is Medical for Naturopaths, primarily in Oregon, for mental health, prescription meds, and psychedelics. The second one is prescription, being allowed to prescribe it more than just as pain or topical medication, so we need this extra class. They told us 2 weeks before our license was due, which is December 31st is when it's due. A lot of people have probably already turned in their stuff. It's like, you're telling me 2 weeks before the deadline? And what happens like 4 weeks before the end of the year? Like 6 weeks. People are out, their kids are out, they're on vacation, they're traveling, they have Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, everything. Kwanzaa. I have where we are, where I am, where are you? It's a mental space. You're feeling guilty. You're not participating in something that you think is good. You're not feeling good because you have not gone to your doctor. You've gone to your doctor when it's needed or for physicals, but you don't go for other things because you feel treated bad, or you do a virtual and they tell you have something, there's no way it's that, and you complain, and then you start to treat it, and you're like, oh my god, what if it was that? And you want to go back through your survey and say, sorry, I think you're right. Oh, sorry, or you're on the same lines. So you feel guilty, but if you don't feel guilty, just feel like, hey, I learned something from that. I could go back and try to find out how to apologize, but we don't actually know what the diagnosis. I have this skin rash. We don't actually know the diagnosis. And it was only occurring when it was warm, so I thought it was prickly heat rash. Oh yeah, speaking of, and I got some medication, some Chinese herbs for myself, and it ends up having oil in it. And now I'm pretty ticked off because I don't want oil, vegetable oil, in my food. I pretty much draw the line at the coatings and the filler, the glycerin. I pretty much try to draw the line of that. Anything else, I want just a straight herb or that herbal extract or homeopathic. Like, I don't want additives in my food. Who knows what's sprayed on my fruits and vegetables. So, but I've also been waking up with sore throat, especially after going to physical therapy, same thing, I don't want to go back. I had a really bad first experience. I had several bad other interactions there. It was like a nightmare. And I feel like it's hard with insurance to just be changing, especially if you have Medicaid, to be changing your provider, trying to find a dentist, trying to find a therapist, trying to do this. So where are you? How did you get to where you are? There's a lot of good that you've done. I can't speak for everybody. To survive, to live, to get through. How many things have you gotten through in the past? Think about that. Think about your present. Think about where you want to be in the future. And don't let the past pull you so far back that you can't respond. There's people that do that. There's veterans, different people that they talk every day about the military life. I think sometimes you hear people say, hey, this person's they're retired, they're wearing their veteran hat and their veteran t-shirt, and they got the bumper stickers on their truck. And people say, you're wrong. You shouldn't be like that. You should get a life. Well, maybe that's their life. Maybe they go to the VFW. Maybe they do these events. Maybe they get dressed up and go on the parade and travel around the country and meet up with those people that are still alive. So what? Those people, I knew a guy like that, and he was one of the nicest, most polite, compassionate, he seemed honest, that I've met. And people at the church were telling how messed up he was. It was like, oh, well, you're obsessed about your, own business. You're obsessed about your different things. Let a retired person, like, it's not up to me. So that's what I was trying to say is, don't feel guilty if something in your past is pulling you to the past mentally, and it's who you are. If you can deal with it, if you want to deal with it, if you want to heal, because you're doing a counseling or self-reflection, reflecting on your own life, if you are the person who is able to not let it disrupt the rest of your life, or you feel in your gut that it's time to be where you are. If you're stuck at something that happened when you were 3 that's traumatizing, seek guidance from within and within the universe and professionally to see what's going on. Kind of like dreams. Sometimes it's like a lot of times you just can't control it. These thoughts pop up. I was counting to 20 in my mind. I was really impatient. I was going 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi silently. And I always think it's amazing how we can use our brains and have some sense of control over the thoughts. And use our brains to raise our hand up, to close the fingers up, to turn it, to pat my head, rub my stomach. It's amazing. Everything we do is a miracle. Basic needs. If you're not allergic, talk to your doctor, talk to your provider. Fluids, water, nutritional, diet, activity, socialization, and rest, sleep. And everything else that goes out from that core of keeping your heart and brain alive, to keep the rest of your body alive, and to keep your mind alive. Also mental and emotional health. So all the little things that go out from there. Where are you? Where are we? We're in a spot where we could draw a line in the sand. I was like virtual. No, draw a line in the sand and step over it and say, it's the next minute of my life. And now that, behind that line was the past. I have a couple of people that I was watching on YouTube, and I didn't like them using the word capitalist and how they enjoyed this, and people should be able to make as much money as they can, and there's different things. But I'm seeing, one was preparedness minded, and one was the tarot person. If you look at my other videos, you see who I talk about most. And I can see it in a way of not limiting yourself. The second person was more on spot with what I believe. When I was told I was called selfish, how much can I get in my income so I can actually pay my bills and then actually get out of debt, then actually invest in myself and my kids so that we have a place to retire, so that we have our cars and our insurance paid for, and so that we have the ability to go buy books or go buy the shoes we need for a field trip, and then be able to do what we can to help others, to be this person that could give $100 bills off, or could do super chats, or could send money to different programs in different countries, or even just go have the money enough in the account that you know you have your mortgage or whatever, and you can go to an event that helps orphan children or that helps with the environmental stuff, because you have that ability to say, peace be with you, I am who I am right now. It's not saying we can't do all those things, but there's still that heavy burden and stress when you don't have even the regular income, or you have like a negative income. It's like you're not even below the poverty line, you're below any line. And that's what the struggle is for me. So I can see trying to get rid of the glass ceilings, the societal pressure to allow certain groups of people to maintain in poverty or remain in poverty. And knowing some class that I took in the past where there was a businessman on YouTube who said, you go and do your job, you go and do your business. People aren't going to believe your idea. It's like ether in the air. They can't see it. They can't visualize. They don't have that, like you have, I'm excited. They're like, yeah, whatever, keep dreaming, There are some friends and some people and some mentors that will say, yes, let's get this on paper. Let's start. What do you need? Do you need the business license? Do you have the LLC? Do you have the EIN tax numbers and all that? Turn that. Ether isn't nothing. Air isn't nothing. But turn that thing that's invisible. Not to show off to other people, but just get it going. This fellow, or one of these fellows, said, hey, there's enough money for everybody. It's like reselling. Hey, there's enough money for everyone. Everyone's always buying, trading, selling, giving away, throwing away. There's a need. There's enough for everybody. But we oftentimes, it's polar. The wealthy collect more than the poor receive less. In the middle is wiped out. Let's change that. Let's enjoy our lives. Let's creep back into the middle, and let's be loving and caring and reduce the stress.